Is AI able to code the Flappy Bird game with only one prompt? I will be comparing the LLM models Qwen 2.5 Coder and Phi-4. Specifically, Unsloth Qwen 2.5 Coder 32B instruct 128K GGUF quantizations 8-bit, 6-bit, 5-bit, 4-bit, and Unsloth Phi-4 GGUF quantizations 16-bit, 8-bit, 6-bit, 5-bit, 4-bit. These are my hardware specs. I am using Ollama and Open WebUI running in Docker. The goal of this test is to find out if these LLMs are able to generate not just some separate functions, but comprehensive interconnected code. I asked for a single file web application of the game Flappy Bird. The key question was if the AIs even understand the concept of Flappy Bird. Spoiler, they did. My approach was to use 3 complexity levels of prompts: simple, advanced, and expert. In the simple prompt, I just asked for the one file web Flappy Bird game with a click button for movement. In the advanced prompt, I was more descriptive in specific features of the game, like initial bird position in the middle or reset game into initial state after it ends. It was not arbitrary points. I picked these based on the frequent issues that the Flappy Bird game generated by simple prompt had. In the expert prompt, I tried to describe all the processes of the game from more of a programming perspective. This prompt is therefore pretty long. Very important information to say here. I did not come up with these prompts on the spot. It took me a few hours to tweak them in order to eliminate some recurring bugs. So that is upfront a big minus for both models. Now let's get to testing. My method was as follows. Before each model, restart the Ollama to free the memory, give the model a warm-up prompt, use one of the Flappy Bird prompts, test the game, do a second iteration with the same model, and I always use new chat for each iteration for every model. I also do rating of the generated games. 4 points if the game plays as it should, 2 points if the game is semi-working, 0 points if the game is hardcore unplayable. Alright, starting with simple prompt, each model 2 tries. First up, Phi-4, 4-bit. It's pretty fast, around 45 tokens per second. Yeah, I forgot to say that simple prompt and advanced prompt, I wasn't debugging the results from that. I was just trying if the application works, but obviously I wasn't even reading because the button is not the move button, the flat button as I wanted, it's start game button. And if I bother to look here at the bottom, event listener, key down, space, I would realize that I need to hit the space button. Whatever. I give it 2 points. The pipes are strange, but the world moves, the bird moves, and it would even fly if I just hit the button. Attempt number 2. Yeah, like the bird flies, but that's pretty much all it does. So I don't know, 0. I guess. Qwen 2.5 4-bit first test. Although this model is also 4-bit quantization, it takes up roughly twice as much memory, hence the speed 24 tokens per second compared to the 45 of the Phi-4 quantization 4-bit. Okay, so the flap doesn't do much. But after inspecting the code, I lowered the gravity number and it started working, even though I was colliding into invisible pipes. Okay, but code changes are not allowed right now, so 0 points. Second test, the game doesn't restart after collision, so 0. Phi-4 5-bit, around 41 tokens per second. Pretty artistic, I would say. 0 points. Second test. Yeah, 0. Next model, Qwen 2.5 5-bit, speed is around 12 tokens per second. Yep. Garbage. Second test, once again not restarting after collision. Next, Phi-4 6-bit, speed 37 tokens per second. This is a recurring feature that I've noticed, that in the beginning the game starts with these crazy values that render the game unplayable, and then after a while the values of speed, flap strength, and gravity adjust to some normal level. Alright, we have a fully functioning game. Like, the flap strength is not ideal and it's really hard, but all the basic features of the game are there. It even keeps score. Alright, solid 4 points. Man, second test, it's so hit and miss. Next, Qwen 2.5 6-bit. Okay, so this is the first model that doesn't fit directly into the GPU VRAM memory. Approximately 1 GB out of the 25 is on the RAM, and oh my god, it's so painfully slow. This one specifically 4.5 tokens per second, and the wait wasn't worth it. So I was investigating the AI's hallucinated links and forgot to do second iteration, so let's average it to 0. Next, Phi-4 8-bit, 33 tokens per second. Interaction doesn't work, and I'm not sure if the game is resetting or the collisions don't work either, so that's 0. And the second game is even worse. Next, Qwen 2.5 8-bit. This model is around 32 gigabytes and runs at speeds 2 tokens per second. Before the code finishes generating, you can see that the game is working, but obviously it doesn't have the reset mechanism. So that is a 0. On the second try, the game seems to be working, it's just badly adjusted. I tweaked a bit the values and it's now more playable, but still not perfect. So I'm giving it 2 points because everything worked before my tweaks. Just the flap strength, gravity, and pipe distance values were not great. But but it worked. The last model, Phi-4 16-bit. This is the first Phi model that doesn't fit into the GPU memory. It is 27 gigabytes and runs 3.5 tokens per second. I'm not sure why the syntax highlighting didn't work. So the map moves, the pipes are not alright, and I don't see the bird, so 0. Okay, we have a game. The top pipes are not present. The collisions with top edge and bottom edge of the map don't work, but the collisions with pipe work. So yeah, 2 points. Alright, all the results generated by the models. Only 4 attempts achieved points higher than 0. The first was Phi-4 4-bit, 2 points. Phi-4 6-bit, 4 points. Qwen 2.5 8-bit, 2 points. And then Phi-4 16-bit, 2 points. The best out of these is definitely the Phi-4 6-bit. Like, the game was pretty much what I wanted, except that the controls were not tweaked. Then the second best was the Qwen 2.5 8-bit. Mechanically, the core mechanics were good, all of them in even kept score, but the values of flap strength and gravity and speeds and pipe distances were not good. I have no conclusion from this first part of testing because it just felt hit or miss. So I don't know, let's see what happens with the other prompts. Advanced prompt, each model 2 tries. Phi-4 4-bit. Yeah, this is 0. Test number 2, this is not that bad. I'll give it 2 points. Like, the pipes are not perfect, but if they are split, it goes through, so yeah, sure. Qwen 2.5 4-bit, nothing. And second, nothing. Phi-4 5-bit, test 1. This doesn't do anything. 0. Test 2. I don't have to do anything. Yeah, like the gravity doesn't work, or the pipe don't work. Yeah, this is, I don't know, man. Qwen 2.5 5-bit, yeah, I'll do better, but still nothing. And on second try, nothing. Phi-4 6-bit, again, nothing. Second test and another nothing. Qwen 2.5 6-bit, yeah, this doesn't do anything. 0. Test 2, this doesn't do anything, but with scoreboard. Phi-4 8-bit, the pipes are not well generated, but it kind of works. 2 points. Second test, nothing. Qwen 2.5 8-bit, I cannot see much, but the pipes and the controls are not good. Test 2, the controls are terrible and it's hitting invisible walls. Phi-4 16-bit, empty frame. Test 2, empty frame with a button. First of all, not the brightest idea to one horizontal game for this results layout. Anyways, only 2 games achieve points higher than 0. That is half compared to the simple prompt results. And don't forget that simple prompt had also 1 game with 4 points. Now I got only 2 semi-working games worth of 2 points. Again, I don't think I can draw any conclusions from these results. Expert prompt, each model 2 tries. Phi-4 4-bit, yeah, not a good start. Second test, nothing again. Qwen 2.5 4-bit. The controls were kind of crazy, so I adjusted the flap strength. Afterwards it was playable, but every time there was a whole pipe blocking the way, so 0. I still want to try to fix it, so I asked the AI how can I limit the math random command to make the code more simple and hopefully fix the pipes. Apparently it was a really stupid question to ask because the AI's programming went haywire and it called me an ape and tried to indoctrinate me in a 1,000-line document with some conspiracy that the world is only pipes. Anyways, test 2. Again, it suffers from the acceleration syndrome, but after it calms down, the game is kind of okay. I had to adjust the flap strength because the pipes were too close together, and it doesn't keep score, but I will still give it a 2. Phi-4 5-bit, test 1. The game doesn't reset after collision, and also I saw there a whole pipe blocking the way, so 0. Test 2. Who knows what's going on here? Don't get a seizure. Qwen 2.5 5-bit. Oh, the score is running alright, but everything is invisible. Test 2, nothing is happening. Phi-4 6-bit. Test 1. The bird was there, but now it's gone. 0. Test 2. Ha! The sprite is huge. Unfortunately, even after fixing the bird size, the game didn't work. Qwen 2.5 6-bit. Test 1. The bird didn't flap, but even after fixing this issue, it still didn't work, so 0. Test 2. Whee! Yeah, so again, the acceleration sickness, and I had to adjust a whole bunch of values. Flap strength, the pipe distance, and world speed. But afterwards, it's playable, and it also counts score, so I'll give it 2 points. Phi-4 8-bit. Test 1. The game isn't. Test 2 also isn't. Qwen 2.5, 8-bit, test 1. Ooh, I'm getting some Windows XP vibes. There was already defined clear canvas function, but was never used, so I just added it to the main game loop and it worked fine afterwards. Well, fine, the flat strength needed to be adjusted a bit, but I accept it. 2 points. Test 2, there was some pipe movement in the beginning, but that ended, so 0. Phi-4, 16-bit. Again, an overgrown Flappy Bird, but even after fixing it, the game isn't ideal, so 0. Test 2, the bird doesn't fly and the pipes don't have gaps, so 0. Alright, the last set of results. We have 3 games that achieved points higher than 0. Qwen 2.5 4-bit, Qwen 2.5 6-bit, and Qwen 2.5 8-bit. Based on these results, maybe I could say that Qwen 2.5 is better at following detailed instructions, but I don't know, I would say it's reaching and it's still inconclusive. Also, looking at the winners from all the 3 testings, I don't think that I can come to any conclusions. With the exception of the 5-bit quantization, all the other quantizations of Phi-4 model and also Qwen 2.5 model scored at least a semi-working game. So overall, there's 5 working games for the Phi-4 model across all the prompts and 4 working games for the Qwen 2.5 model across all the prompts. Alright, that said, if I had to devise some strategy for future from this, I guess it would be that pick a model and quantization that can run from your GPU VRAM, use the simplest prompt possible, and do as many iterations until the model gets it right. If you found this video interesting, like and subscribe, it makes my local AI smarter. Alright, that's it.